So, what you doing there, buddy?
I'm posing for my monument. What do you think? Do you think machete back? Machete forward?
I don't think it matters. Why exactly?
Forward. Down?
No, let's go with forward. I think forward is very appropriate. It's very strong.
Maybe here?
No, I think forward should be good. Why exactly are you posing for a monument?
Not even words will immortalize me.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here with a review for...
another sonnet.
Yes.
William Shakespeare, Sonnet 55.
Yes.
Because at this point, we're just picking and choosing numbers. We got rid of the big ones. Let's talk about them all. There's only like 9 million
Would you
left
like to do your reading?
I would. 55.
55.
Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. But you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluggish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Gainst death and all oblivious enmity, shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room in the eyes of posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this, and dwell in lovers' eyes. For you, sir.
Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluggish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Gainst death and all oblivious enmity, shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity, that wear this world out with the ending doom. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this, and dwell in lovers' eyes. So I'd like to do another Billy Wigglestick on sonnet. And
the unsonnets are the best.
The way we're going to do this, should we do this before or after the 3 good things, 3 bad things?
It's up to you. If you feel it's time for an unsonnet.
I think it's helpful to get this out beforehand.
Okay, unsonnet
here's what we'll do. You will read Shakespeare.
Okay.
I will read Wigglestick. I will give you the nod when the line is over, because I think it is important to use inflection with these, and sometimes inflection is a pregnant pause.
Okay. So, line by line?
Yes.
Not marble nor the gilded monuments.
Statues and gold and expensive shit.
Of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme.
That rich people have ain't got shit on me and my pen.
But you shall shine more bright in these contents.
But you're a lick better than all of that.
Than unswept stone besmeared with sluggish time.
And still will be tomorrow, and the next day, and the next month, etc. Baby.
When wasteful war shall statues overturn.
Motherfuckers want to drop bombs and shoot each other.
And broils root out the work of masonry.
Wood rots.
Nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn.
Even mythology ain't got shit.
The living record of your memory.
On the things you do to people.
Gainst death and all oblivious enmity.
Mayhap that eternal sleep or the great abyss of ethereal void.
Shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room.
Ain't got shit on your ass.
Even in the eyes of all posterity.
Are cheering, and they're cheering, and cheering's cheering.
That wear this world out to the ending doom.
Living in the flood of heaven fire.
So till the judgment that you yourself arise.
And you be sitting on the big man's lap.
You live in this, and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Until then, people will be thinking of you while they're getting their bone on.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it?
That's life-changing.
That is Billy Wigglestick.
Billy Wigglestick's Unsonnet 55.
Yes.
You are going to have to publish a collection of Billy Wigglesticks Presents the Unsonnets.
Perhaps.
No, there is no perhaps about it. We'll put the strip cover lit logo on it, and that is glorious. Thank you.
So, 3 good things.
3 good things. This is immortality in art.
Okay.
This is immortalizing the being through the word. Let's compliment the fucking balls on Billy Shakespeare to say, hey, I'm going to write about you because then you'll be famous forever because I'm William fucking Shakespeare.
Slick Billy Wigglestick.
And for dated language, this one is a very comfortable read. It's not a difficult one. You're not going to have to force yourself to get through this.
Yes.
Bad things?
Well, I got 3 good things.
Oh, start with the good things.
This is much more accessible than many of Shakespeare's sonnets.
Yes.
With this poem, it is possible to illustrate translation versus decoding, right?
Okay.
Like, translating is word for word. Decoding is like we just did.
Yes.
Decoding it for today. And the final couplet contains a nice turn.
Okay.
So 3 bad.
Very cut and dry.
Okay.
It is what it is. There's not much digging there. There's a little bit of the pining, loving cliche that you're going to get with sonnets that still, is a little bit of a turnoff for some people.
Right.
And all you need is the first 4 lines.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
It's over after that.
My 3 bad things are all sort of little variants on the same idea. 1, this is pretty par for course as far as Shakespeare's sonnets are concerned.
Okay.
2, I feel like Shakespeare took a line from 14 sonnets that never quite made it and just said this was the best one from there.
Yeah, it's a compilation album.
Yeah. 3, this is the Coldplay of Shakespeare sonnets.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Maybe I'll have it on in the background. But as far as really going at it,
nothing special.
Yeah, it's not there.
You are going to have to remind me before we finish this video up to let you read your unsonnet in its entirety.
Okay.
That might be how we wrap this video up, because that was a treat. That was a good one. So anything you'd like to talk about? Any big points on this?
Did you have a best line?
Yes, actually.
That's the yellow mark.
It is the yellow mark. Again, let me read you the first 4 lines, because that's the whole poem. Not marble nor gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine most bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time.
Yeah.
That's the novel. And as much as I want to say let's take the line of sluttish time because it amuses the hell out of me, I think, in my opinion, I know I wrote it down, the final 2 lines are the best in this novel.
The last couple.
Yes.
Poem, perhaps? It is not a novel.
Did I say novel?
You said novel 3 times.
Well, excuse me. I took too many sleeping pills in the last week. So still the judgment that you yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lover's eyes. That is the best.
My favorite line was, gainst death and all oblivious enmity.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like the nihilism inherent to that line.
Anytime there's just a hint of nihilism in anything, you just automatically attract to it. I'm surprised you didn't have a whole nihilism conversation with The Fault in Our Stars. We should have got into that, but...
It's not worth it.
Oh, it's totally worth it. My question is here, what if William Shakespeare was wrong?
What do you mean?
What if he put all his chips in saying, I'm going to make it, I'm going to be big?
Oh.
And he wrote something like this with so much oomph and power saying, I'm going to immortalize you with my word, and turns out he was John Grisham.
Well, didn't we all write that poem in middle school?
You think so?
That I'm going to immortalize you in a poem.
Oh, no, I don't think so. The loving, pining, cliche poem is middle school. But saying that...
Well, I wrote that poem in middle school. So.
Well, let's look at your ego. If you haven't seen Adrian's ego, it can be found in any videos listed below. It's saying, I'm so good. What? It's that
You're
smirk.
A son of a bitch.
You love me. It's saying, I'm so good that I'm going to take all these monuments, everything the world has built, trash. I'm going to write you a poem. And that's going to be what you're going to live in.
I think you're...
Because you are beneath me, young man. And this poem will immortalize you because nothing you do will ever be as good as me.
I think that mainly what it is the idea of someone's better qualities living through someone else's better qualities.
Okay.
Your beauty living through my word is what I have to contribute to the ages.
And I think if you want to get into the argument on art, this is the definition of art. This is saying that, in 300 years, who cares if I'm remembered? I would like to leave something behind.
Right.
that is worth remembering.
Yes.
So that's, in my opinion, the big highlight of this poem. That's where it comes from. You got something?
No, I'm just opening it up to the novel itself.
Now, I noted that you marked Lover's Eyes.
Yes, that Lover's Eyes. This is multiple. This is not singular. This is not my eyes. This is not saying, look, you have your beauty to live by, and I have my word to live by. And even through my word, I am not good enough for you. So every time I make love, you're going to be there, baby. What this is that everyone makes love in the dark, and when they do, they're thinking of you.
Okay.
That's what that line says, is it not?
You think so?
You live in this and dwell in lover's eyes.
Now the term
Lovers apostrophe.
The term lover's eyes, it's a delightful term because it does bring up that argument. And if you look in, my question is this the origin of the term lover's eyes?
Possibly.
I'd really like to dig into that a little bit because if you look in that modern...
Well, Dalton, you had a whole week.
Well, I had a whole week, but I had 9 other things to review. If you look into the modern musical world, that good old hipster music, the term lover's eyes has been dabbling quite a bit. It's making a resurgence, and there's so much that it says.
Don't credit hipster musicians with that.
No, Mumford & Sons did not come up with lover's eyes, but that is one of their songs, and it's delightful. And I really would like to know the origins of that. Did Shakespeare just pen a great hipster term here?
Can you quote Lover's Eyes? Is that a song title, or is that...
Yeah, it's a song title. It's an entire song.
I know you have their entire canon memorized.
I do, but now that you put me on the spot, I can't think of it. Nope.
Because that's their first album?
I think it's their second album.
Okay, well, I think they mention it in 3 of their songs on that album.
Oh, Lover's Eyes is used quite a bit. But there is an actual song. Talk about something for like 10 seconds.
Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. Now, how many times have we seen that in Shakespeare's sonnets? That is not just a recurring theme. It's not just a recurring idea. It's basically a recurring element throughout what we're looking at here. Okay, so you've got the lyrics there.
Okay. We too young and heads too strong to bear the weight of these lovers' eyes. I feel numb beneath your tongue, beneath the curse of these lovers' eyes. But do not ask the price I pay. I must live with my quiet rage, tame the ghost in my head that run wild and wish me dead. Should you shake my ash to the wind, Lord, forget all my sins.
It's worthless.
And let me die where I lie beneath the curse of these lovers' eyes.
There's nothing useful there.
No, they just took the title and enjoyed it, ran with it.
Pull that back up.
I could pull it back up if you'd like.
No, not the lyrics. I don't care about.
Oh, the lyrics. Excuse me, sir, for taking one of my favorite bands and saying maybe they drew a little bit from Shakespeare and just being shut down instantly.
It's obvious that they drew from Shakespeare. They're not that clever, despite the fact that they have a song about Kansas City.
They do have a song about Kansas City. They didn't write it though.
Yeah,
I think it's Bob Dylan.
They stole it, and Johnny Depp's in there or something playing the bass.
Who watches Johnny Depp? Nobody cares about him.
Depp.
But anyway,
what a talentless hack.
Let's look at the point of Sonnet 55 is to create something that is immortal.
Okay.
Success.
Yeah.
When was this penned?
Dalton, I don't know.
Rough estimate.
Venus and Adonis was his first poem, which got big in 1593. Sonnets published in 1609?
1600s. So here we are in 2016.
Still talking about
sluttish time and lover's eyes.
Yes.
Isn't that delightful?
Sluttish time and lover's eyes. There's a name for a collection of poetry if I've ever seen one.
That's actually going to be my indie folk rock band. So no, I think it's he very much accomplished what he was setting out to do, is to immortalize something.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting to me that we go back and forth between works and actions. Mm-hmm. We mention marble and gilded monuments. Then we talk about war. Then we talk about time. Then we talk about masonry, right? So it's not just things that we've made, it's things that we do. This idea of war that will last forever. As long as there are people to fight, we will be fighting about something.
Correct.
But it doesn't matter, because this through thread will be you and your beauty.
And that's the thing, I think that the real beauty of this comes from eventually everything we built will fall. I mean, burn it all and salt the earth. We still have beauty and fucking poetry.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it comes to.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful concept, really. And I'm all about that.
Okay.
So, honestly, Sonnet 55 has been one of my favorites that we've gone through.
Really? I have no real definitive feelings about Sonnet 55 because it feels like just that middle point. Like, in evolution, when you're talking about is this man, is this beast, right?
Okay.
So at what point does man emerge from the beast? You've got this missing link in the middle. Well, we'll find that missing link in the middle.
Okay.
And that's Sonnet 55.
You think so?
But once we've got Sonnet 55, well, is this man or is this beast? Right? So there's always this missing link. And for me, Sonnet 55 is just sort of this missing link between sonnets like Sonnet 18 and sonnets like, or Venus and Adonis, right?
Okay.
So there's this great middle ground where it's Coldplay.
Now, my only disappointing thing with it, and yeah, it's Coldplay in this aspect, is what you see is what you get. No matter how much you really dig into this, you may find some little underlying thing, but this is not like digging through heavy literature. It's not Nabokov's Lolita, where no matter how far you dig, you're going to find a new turn. You're going to find something else being said, something else being done. This is very surface, cut and dry Coldplay.
I don't know that I can agree with you without having done a little bit more work.
You think so?
Well, you've got a reference to Mars,
Okay.
right? Why Mars?
Point, why Mars?
Why not his corresponding Greek god? Because Mars was the Roman god, right?
I think so.
So why not the Greek god?
Because he probably couldn't think of the Greek's god name, because we can't right now. So.
And broils root out the work of masonry. Broils.
Interesting word choice.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that is the root of embroil, right? Which is just struggle, right? Embroiled. But we don't use broil anymore.
No,
I've never heard anyone use broil.
Unless we're turning the oven on to broil setting.
Right, exactly. So why broils? Why struggles rooting out the work of masonry?
So you think there could be more there?
Well, why don't you choose something that is natural, like termites? You know, Shakespeare was obviously not... These things were obviously not a mystery to Shakespeare.
Oh, no,
Why not
absolutely.
say-
He chose his words carefully.
Right. So why not something that is actively destroying masonry? Why just the struggle of common life?
Okay.
Is there something about the struggle of common life underneath all of these things that we are not finding right now? Because we've got all these grandiose mentions, but broils root out the work of masonry? Really?
Yeah?
Yeah. Plus there's the fact that you said those first four lines. Those first four lines are then repeated. How many lines are in a sonnet? 14.
Okay.
So those first four lines, 4, 8, 12, and then you've got the turn at the end.
Okay.
But those first three quadrants are basically just repeating the same thing.
I agree with you, yes.
And not just by idea, basically by line. Right? So why do we have these same ideas just sort of shrinking each time he mentions them until that final couplet, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes. Why do we have them mentioned towards the end of the world, towards the apocalypse?
We just jumped into philosophy with Adrian Fort. Why is this? Why are these words here?
Well, that is an apocalyptic reference, is it not? Why do we need it?
I don't know. I can't answer it.
Because we go from sluttish time, which time always wins.
Time does always win, but if you look at it,
Well, hold on. Shut up a minute. So we go from sluttish time, which is this big idea, to Mars and his sword, which is this much closer idea, right?
Okay.
There's always a war going on.
True.
And then we get the idea of the apocalypse, which is very specific, very Christian, and very near to home, because this is something these people would have lived with at least every Sunday.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? But we've got all these books to read now. Back then, you had the Bible.
But isn't that inherent apocalyptic nature necessary to the poem?
How so?
Saying that I am going to immortalize you, so much so that once we've reached this apocalyptic era, when all is lost, still the words remain. That
Right.
seems to be the point of the poem.
But even when we have the apocalypse, you're going to live in lovers' eyes.
Okay.
So this is saying that not only will love survive the apocalypse, but you're going to be there too, baby. Right? So
yes.
we start very, very ethereal. We start very out there, sluttish time. We come into war. At this time, when there were wars, people used to line hilltops to watch.
Yes.
Right. So this was an idea that everyone was familiar with, not necessarily close to. And then we get to the apocalypse.
Can we rule out the fact that maybe Shakespeare was just trying to win one over with the ladies? Or men in his case. We're not sure.
We don't know who these were written for.
So TLDR, Shakespeare was a player.
Okay, so let's use gender here for a second.
Okay.
We've got that going back sluttish time. To what gender is the word slut attributed?
Usually the female gender.
Usually the female gender. Mars. Who was Mars?
Mars was a masculine war god.
Okay. Then we get down to the Christian god. Who is the Christian god? He's masculine.
Yes.
He's a man.
Yes.
Right? All of the art that's ever depicted the Christian god has been a white man with long flowing white hair, right?
Yes.
Except for Morgan Freeman. So we've got all of this. Where does the control in this poem lie?
It lies in time.
Which is
The female.
Feminine.
Feminine, yes.
Despite the fact that we're bringing in Mars, the god of war, despite the fact that we're bringing in the Christian god, at the end, it is, if this is a woman, it is still the woman who will live on through lovers' eyes.
Now see, the next phrase that I say can play either way. I could say, well, Adrian, obviously, the strength of women will eventually overcome all. Or I could say, Adrian, obviously, it doesn't matter who the hell you are, a woman's going to break you down eventually. So I got one. I felt good about it. Oh, that's going to get gift. God damn it.
You look like a Muppet. That's how Muppets dance, Dalton.
Oh, we're going clubbing later. I'll tell you that much now.
So what would you rate this?
Here's what I like this one. I did.
Yeah.
Give it a 91 monuments out of 100.
Okay, I'd give it 90 sluttish times out of 100.
90 sluttish times? Mm-hmm. What would you recommend?
I would actually recommend, and you're going to argue with me because you always misquote me and say that I hate it when you say, if you like Shakespeare, read Shakespeare. That is not what I hate. What I hate is when you say, well, that's what I hate, yeah. But what I don't hate is when you say, if you like Sonnet 55, you would like Sonnet 18.
Okay. So if you like Shakespeare, you like Shakespeare.
That's what you do. You take the lazy way out. If you like Shakespeare, maybe you'd read some more Shakespeare. I don't know. I don't like constraints. So what would you recommend?
If you like Sonnet 55, you would like The Proud Thin Dying by Charles Bukowski.
Ooh.
Boom!
Okay.
Motherfucker. Shakespeare and Shakespeare. I got the impressive one this week.
Okay.
So, that's what I would suggest you should read.
All right.
So, if you do like this thing and you'd like to hear us make fun of each other for, every single day of your existence,
Or just hear me curse Dalton.
either one works. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a like on this video as well. We like to work through the sonnets, but nobody seems to like to listen to us talk about the sonnets. So, anyway.
Follow us on Twitter @StripCover and on Facebook @StripCoverLit.